Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to solve logarithmic equations. There's basically three different cases. The first case is actually the easiest case. Basically, here in this problem, I have log base 2, log base 2. They're both on each side, so there's one on each side. The most important thing is that you could never, ever solve a problem that has more than one log on a side. So right now I'm good because I only have one log here and one log here. Think about it for a second. How do we make these guys equal to each other? Well, if the highlighted part is already equal, then the only way that these two can be equal is if that equals that. So you're absolutely right. That's how simple it is. Let's try the next problem. Log base 2 of x plus 3 equals log base 2 of 2x minus 4. They both have one log on each side, and they both have a log on each side. Okay, so they both have one. You can have one or none, but you can't have more than one. So when they both have a log on each side, the rest is a piece of cake. You take this, you set them equal to each other. Think about it. The highlighted parts are already equal. What's not equal? The blue parts. So I'm going to minus x. I'm going to add 4. And then I have 7 is equal to 1x. And then you're done. Think about it. Put 7 back in there. 7 plus 3 is 10. 2 times 7 is 14 minus 4 is 10. They match. Excellent. In this problem, I have more than one log on the left side of the equal sign. I have more than one log on the side. If you watched my last video, you would remember how to condense, in other words, make more logs into just one log. Okay, so let's just make one log. So I'm going to factor out that log base 2. And then I'm going to be left with x plus 2 times 3. And that's equal to log base 2 of 8. Now, some of you might say, wait, what about this? Shouldn't that be a plus? Actually, first of all, that's very good that you thought that way. But the only time a plus becomes a multiplication when you're dealing with logs is if the plus sign is in front of the log. In front. Since this plus sign is in front of this log right here, it becomes a plus. It becomes a multiplication. No other one will ever become a multiplication, okay? Same with the division sign. If the minus is in front of the log, that's the only time. So what do we do here? Well, we're almost done, guys. X plus 2 times 3. What is that? 3x plus 6. That's equal to log base 2 of 8. Great job. We got now only one log here and one log here. So what do? We just set this equal to this. Okay? So once we set those equal, let me move this down here. Once we set those equal, we got to be just very careful because something I did not mention, I'm going to minus 6 on both sides. You can't have negatives, okay? So right now we're safe. So that's 2/3. Okay, let's try the next one. So we only have this, and we have one more page, and then we're done with this video. But I really want you to stay for the entire video. Okay, so that's how you do that. I'm going to erase this. You guys can always play it back whenever you want. I just need room. Okay, so what do I do with this here? Once again, I can't solve this because there's more than one log. So I'm just going to write up here. I'm going to factor out that log base 5. I'm going to have x plus 2 times x minus 2 is equal to log base 5 of 5. Now remind yourself that only the plus sign that's in front of the log becomes a multiplication. This does not become a division. This does not become a multiplication. It got to be in front of the log. So I'm going to do this really fast as a first, outer, inner, last. I'm going to distribute first, outer, inner, last. And that's going to be x squared minus 4. Okay, so you guys just have to multiply that out. Now this side, since the log 5s are both equal, you just set x squared minus 4 is equal to 5. I'm going to add. My students, I always teach them to make sure that it says equals 0. So I'm going to minus 5. My students always, when it's a quadratic, we make 0 on one side. You're going to factor what gives me the front, what gives me the back. Now something very important here. You always reject negatives. I don't want to say always. 99% of the time you reject negatives. And here's why. When you go back to put the negative 3 here, negative 3 plus 2 makes negative 1. 5 to what power? 5 to what power makes negative 1? Nothing. Nothing. No exponential functions can be negative. Okay, so nothing. So my answer is only x equals 3. Okay, so this is case 2. Here's our final case. Our final case, well, there's a log here, and there's only one of them. Great. There's no log on this side, so you're going to have to lift and shift. So that's 9. You're going to minus 4, and you get x equals 5. So in this case, we didn't have to lift and shift in any of these cases. Why? Because it's almost like, and don't ever do this, but it's almost like you cancel these out because they're on each side. It's almost like you cancel these out because they're on each side. So here, they're not on each side. So the only way, do you guys remember from my first video? The only way you can get rid of a log is if you lift and shift. Now, I have a problem in this final problem. My problem is that there's 2 logs on one side. You need to factor out the log, and then x plus 1. There's a minus in front of that log, so it becomes division. X plus 3 equals 5. Okay, now what? Can I just do x plus 1 divided by x plus 3 equals 5? No, you cannot, because there's no log base 2 on the other side. Okay, so what do? We have to lift and shift. So I'm going to lift the 2. I'm going to bring the 5 to this side. X plus 1 over x plus 3. 2 to the 5th is 32, because it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 over 1. And then all you guys have to do here is cross multiply. Okay, so that's all you have to do. You go this times this. So that's going to be 32x plus 96 is equal to x plus 1. You minus x, that becomes 31x. You minus 96, that becomes negative 95. And I made up these problems, so I apologize about the negative here, but you're going to have to reject that negative, okay? So that's how we do the 3 cases. I hope this was helpful.